Hello YouTube friends, welcome to The Last Homely Garden, the second video that I've made for my brand new channel. If you've come here from The Last Homely House, this is a channel that's all about the things that happen in my garden, all the planting that's going on, all the problem areas that we find solutions for, and all the amazing triumphs that there are in the garden. And so the last video was so incredibly well received, and I'd just like to thank everybody who visited, everybody who left a comment, everybody who gave me a thumbs up, and everyone who subscribed. It was absolutely marvellous to see you all here. But if you've arrived at the Last Homely Garden without knowing anything about the Last Homely House, I'll leave a link to that channel down below, and you'll be able to go and visit that one too. That's where I do all my crafts and all my making and all the things that happen inside the Last Homely House. It's June, the first week of June, and it's really hard to keep on top of all the things that are happening in the garden. And as I said last time I posted, I have help in the garden. I couldn't do any of the things that happen here without the help of my wonderful gardening team. In fact, I think that's why I started this channel. It's because we are able now to do so many more things out in the garden because I have the help of strong, imaginative, creative people. It's absolutely wonderful. So today was a bit special because we had the opportunity to have one more gardener join the team, and also Adam, who heads up the team, was able to offer me more hours today. And so we planned a full-on day in the garden. So I made a list. Many different jobs throughout the garden, and I think the best thing I can do is to show you around the garden and introduce you to each of the gardeners that were helping me in the garden today. So, first of all, here's Adam.
Hello.
What are you doing, Adam?
Well, this was meant to be, many years ago, a hedge, and it's become a line of trees now.
Yes.
So, it's going to stay a line of trees because it's too big to hedge. So we're going to take some bits and pieces out of it because it's getting a bit ominous and overpowering.
It's massive. It's just grown like things do. Look how tall it is. We're going to leave some of them as trees, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean this is okay there as it stands. I don't want to like go straight across the top and just cut.
No, we don't want a dramatic look to it, but it's really nice to get some of this trimmed back.
And it's getting some more sun through from the top because
yeah.
It does shade this side quite a bit when the sun comes around.
And so I'm going to show you what Seb's been doing in a minute, but he's just picking up the stuff that Adam's cutting down.
Hello.
And there he is. But let's walk round here, leave Adam doing that for a minute, and I'll show you what Seb started the day doing.
As you can tell, heavy lifting is my forte.
So, Seb's got the heavy lifting short straw this morning. And so they look very white and clean and new. So get in, Seb, and show us what you've been doing.
Spreading it out and then giving it a stamp, make sure it's all nice and level.
And that's an amazing job, but then that wasn't the only thing Seb's been barrowing today.
No,
If you come over to what I call the birch tree corner here. So what else have you been doing?
So this was already covered in chippings and bark, but
when I ordered the bark I didn't get enough, and so now we've got enough to finish the whole bed, and you were doing that this morning too.
Now it looks nice and continuous.
So I think he gets 10 out of 10 for barrowing. Very well done indeed.
Thank
and this
you.
looks great now.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got some perennial plants in here that will just grow up. They look like they're spaced quite far apart, but over a couple of years they'll grow and spread together towards one another. And the birch tree is looking fabulous. So, and now, are you on light duties now?
Light duties now, I've done my back in.
Oh no, oh you haven't, have you?
Just a little bit, maybe.
Oh dear.
It's alright, just a little tweak. So,
Don't tweak your back.
So I think it's weeding for me.
Weeding.
Yes.
And then we've got plenty of weeding, and that brings me on to Emily over here. So we'll go and say hello to Emily.
We're de-weeding against the border, getting all the ground elder out and any other kind of weeds that we've got growing through.
We've got a lot of ground elder, haven't we?
We do, and then we're gonna plant these lovely hollyhocks in between the bark, put some nice new bark over the top,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna have something similar to what's
So on this
over there.
side, Emily's already done this side. And this is the hollyhocks. Now at the moment they're just 3 inches high, but they're going to hopefully grow really, really tall and cover this whole wall. And on this side then, that's what you're doing at the moment.
Yeah, and then cut some of this back, get rid of some of the other
It's
plants that are not
a
really
massive
needed in this
battle
area.
against ground elder, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a lot, but we'll slowly get it out, and hopefully with a bit more bark on the top it will kind of keep it at bay
For this year, hopefully.
for this year.
Okay, Emily, that's brilliant, thank you. And now actually standing here, Adam, we can see that what you've done with this hedge is to thin it out a bit and reduce the height a bit. And it means that it's just less dark.
If you look down the right hand side here, it looks like that.
That's right, and so that's what the hedge looks like. And then when you pan along here, what Adam's done to it now is made it. I think it'll be healthier for the trees as well, don't
It's a
you?
bit too thick. When it's that height, it's just because if they're planted as trees, then they take quite a lot of space. They were planted as a hedge and it never got made into a hedge.
Exactly.
So they're suffocating each other because they're too close together for trees.
Okay.
So they do need a bit of.
So that's a
bit of
fantastic job
air.
that's got done today. But there's also been all sorts of little jobs, hasn't there? I made a list.
Little bits of fixie jobs. Like,
Fixie jobs.
Yeah, latches on gates.
Making the polytunnel door close, things like that.
And accessible. Because of the minute.
Yeah. Oh, that was a massive job, making the area in front of the polytunnel so that I can actually get in and out of it. That's good. Very good. So I'm going to walk on down to the hen run garden now. Let's go and see what Arran's up to. I'll go down to the hen run garden with you now. And I'll show you the raised bed thing first, because that's a major triumph of salad. I'm eating from this now. There's fantastic lettuce here growing along this edge, and then these radishes. I'm starting to eat my way through these now. And I've got beetroot in here and spring onions, more radishes. So that's just like a lovely little salad bed. This is the hen run garden, where the old hen shed used to be. And what Arran's doing today is giving it a really good weeding, because of course the weeds are growing back, and laying this cardboard down to suppress some more of the weeds. And so if we start at the top, say hi Arran.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. And what we've got here is broad beans, and they're coming along well, and Arran's tied all those up for me today. These sweet peas, which I thought were looking really poor, they're actually looking a lot better now. And some more sweet peas, and then what I've got here is sugar snap peas, and these are the ones where you eat all the pods. And so that's what's going on in here. We've got plans to plant some more things, but it's quite hard won, this little area, because it's never been cultivated before, so this is its first year. So let's go to the polytunnel and I'll show you what's happening down there. If I show you in the polytunnel, first of all, Adam's cleared all around the polytunnel door, so it's so much easier for me to get in and out now. It was just getting very weedy. And what we've got here then is all the things that haven't yet gone out. So that's largely things like cabbages and leaf beet. I've got some cosmos coming there too. And the tomatoes are just doing beautifully in their pots here. I've got some peppers there. And then over this side, this is where the cucumbers are going to grow up this netting that I've put for them. And so here are lots of lettuce that are ready to go out, and some more things that need to go out. So I get a lot of inspiration, not just from these guys who help me garden, but from other YouTube gardeners. And I want to tell you about a couple of my favourites. If you enjoy gardening and you watch gardeners on YouTube, you can't have failed to come across Charles Dowding, the no-dig expert, and his fabulous garden. And he's got some really great no-nonsense tips and tricks for growing absolutely brilliantly. He's, yeah, I think he's my favourite YouTube gardener. I'm going to leave links to the people I'm going to mention in the description below. And then there's another guy, Hugh Richards, who gardens in Wales. And he's a young guy who's really keen and enthusiastic about gardening. And he puts out some fantastic videos to help new gardeners, also established gardeners, to make the most of their plots. He grows some phenomenal stuff. And so those are two YouTube channels that I really enjoy watching. They're in the UK, so they've got similar conditions to mine here, although I think Charles is a lot further south. No, great guys, both of them. But really, there's a lot of experimentation goes on in the garden and a bit of knowledge, but it's about trying things to see if they'll work. And hard graft, which is where my team come in, because I don't have the energy to do the hard graft. So I'm really, really grateful to them. It's been a good day today. We've done a phenomenal amount. So I'm going to take the camera outside then and have a look at some of the other things that have been going on in the garden. These are my potatoes and onions growing in the garden. I've got 4 different varieties of potatoes, so we'll keep an eye on them and see how they come along. Bees were very happy today, in and out of the hive in the sunshine, very contented. And this bed is, last year was full of beautiful flowers, and it's getting that way again. And this is the picture I used for the header of my channel. So Seb's going to measure 35 centimetres, which is how far these sweet corn plants need to be apart, and sweet corn like to be in blocks. So they're going in now. This bed that they're planting up used to be an asparagus bed that had got incredibly weedy and grew hardly any asparagus, and so it didn't repay the amount of work it took to make the asparagus grow. So the boys took everything out of there, and we've lined it with this weed membrane, and hopefully with this new compost we should be able to grow things in here that are weed free. Back to Adam now, up his ladder, thinning out this hedge that's been allowed to grow very, very tall. This is a good job and well overdue, really. Look at all that on the ground there. Bit drastic, Mr. Howells.
Eh?
Bit drastic. Well, carry on, I say.
Yeah, I think I'm done that side. I'm going to get some of the height off this from the other side.
Okay. Seb and Arran have been working hard all morning, digging and burrowing. It's very nice to have a little planting job. I always think they're the treats, aren't they, the planting jobs?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Give my muscles a rest.
Give your muscles a rest, and your back.
I'm not back.
You could kneel down if that helps.
Well, I've been stepping into the...
Okay, that's fine.
Slightly.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. So how's it going, Emily?
Just tapping in the ground for a bit of planting these hollyhocks. We get them in and then give them a water, some bark, and should be ready to go.
Excellent. This whole mission has been fueled by cake. Not cake that I made either. Every time Adam and his team come, there's always some grass trimming to do. There's a theory about the grass trimming in this garden. Adam doesn't mow everything. We're leaving the grasses in and just mowing pathways through them, so that there might be some weedy areas and then paths to things like the gooseberries or the bird feeders, so that I can get through to them, but not trying to make everything into lawn. Now, these stones that went into this little corner garden here were very white. In fact, they are very white. It's going to take some getting used to, but just look what happens when they're wet. And most times of the year there's plenty of rain here, so I think they'll be wet more than they're dry. And while the watering was out, Seb was just watering in, and what's in this new raised bed, this experimental bed, sweet corn at the end there, and then some leaves, leaf beet, kale, that kind of thing, for my juicing, and also to eat. You know, I'm looking forward to sweet corn. Never grown sweet corn before. My dad was a great sweet corn grower. He grew fantastic sweet corn, but then he grew fantastic everything. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. That's really friendly. And what I'd say about subscribing is, and when I looked at the statistics for this channel, the first video that went out, only 9% of people who watched the video actually subscribed. And I think that there might be an idea that to subscribe to the channel means somehow or other you have to make a payment. It's not a channel membership, it's just a simple matter of clicking the subscribe bell that's down there below. And this is one channel where it's a good idea to put on the notifications bell, because I will be posting very infrequently when I've got something to talk about in the garden like I have had today. So do subscribe if you would like to, and I'm really delighted to be bringing you these videos, and I'm going to see you next time here in the garden at the Last Homely House garden with something else.